What's up, pilots? It's your boy Keith, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. This is going to be part 2 of the RVS Creamer build series, and today I got something special. We're going to be installing all the electronics and everything I want to put in it. Boom! We're going to start with this FETTEC stack. First off, we got the 4-in-1 ESC. 45 amps, baby. Woo! And on top of that, we got the brand new G4. Now let's open them up and take a look. Now, how about that? Look at that. That is beautiful. Alright, so let's start. Let's get this going. Let's turn on our soldering iron. Let's get the frame. Now, from the last video, all I've done is take the top plate off and added 4 plastic M3 nuts to keep the ESC off the bottom of the frame. So, let's get this going. What I like to do before anything is put this plug in right here. Make sure you're facing the right way. Just pop that right in there. Boom. Now we're going to orientate this a certain way. I'm going to have the capacitor in the front here with the lead coming through the top plate, which looks like this. It's got a nice little cutout for it. Alright, let's get that on there. It's going to sit something like that. Let's see. Now, what you want to do is get a pigtail ready. I made this ahead of time. It's just a couple pieces of 12 gauge soldered onto an XT60. We're going to tin this up. Let's move this out of the way. Got our soldering iron cranking here. Let's get a little solder on that. Now what I like to do is just put my soldering iron down. I'm going to get the wire hot and feed into the wire. Sometimes you got to get started. Come on. There we go. I'm going to make sure it coats all the way around. Alright. Let's do the other one. There we go. Now what we're going to do here is put our capacitor in first. Stand it off to the side. I've already preformed this to fit in the front. You'll see after I'm done what I'm talking about. That's not really working there. Don't know if I really like that. There we go. I want a nice flowing solder joint there. Perfect. Now we're going to take our wire nippers and trim this down. Now what that's going to look like here, it's going to sit right in this corner right here. Look at that. That's beautiful. I'll zip tie it down after. Now let's check out our power leads here. Make sure you got the right side. Yeah, that'll work. Now what you want to do is make sure your negative's on this side. These are like posts here to hold this. Beautiful. That's what we like to see. Look at that. That's going to be awesome. Alright, so now we're going to put our motors on. And we got these bad boys. Woo! Take these out and look at them. Comes with these nice bags full of hardware and prop nuts, everything. Excellent. Let's check these babies out. Let's get our razor blade. Now that is beautiful. Look at that. Got some 2208, 2450s, Velox T-motors. I usually run T-motors, they're pretty good. Oh, I got some stickers in here. Get that out of here. Alright, let's get all 4 of these out. There we go. Look at those. Let's get these mounted on the arm here. Let's check for a proper screw length. Let's see. Actually, you know what we can do? We can go ahead and put these on right now to hold this down. Now you only tighten these hand tight and we should be good. Alright. Let's get these motor screws out. See what we got. Going to be 4 shorter ones in here, 4 longer ones. We're probably going to end up using the 4 shorter ones. Now the way I do that is you check just like this. That looks to be about perfect. So we'll start one down here in the corner. Look at that, that looks nice. So now what I'll do is get Loctite, and I'll repeat the process for all these corners right here, and we'll get all 4 of these on and we'll be right back. Alright, and now that we got all our motors on, now we can get to soldering all these bad boys in. Oh yeah, let's grab our trusty electrical tape here. Now since I'm going to be running props out, I want to tape my wires away from where the props will strike if you crash or do any nonsense like that. So what we're going to do is, since we're spinning props out, I'm going to tape my wires in the front right here. Props out, tape them in the front. I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. It's going to look something like that. Now that we got one done, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing to all 4. Alright, so now you're going to have something that looks like that. Now let's get all our pads tinned and our motor wires in. What I like to do is probably run them around this right here and put them down here. I like to just fold them in there tight and then kind of, let's see what we can do here. Just cut them all the length really with my snips. So I'd say right about there. Let's grab our cutters. It's always good to leave them a little long. Let's say right there. Alright, I apologize for that. My camera decided to not record. So here we are. We got back to this. We had all the tape on the arms. And we started putting the wires in. They were trimmed and I tinned the pads. So now, let's get these on there. Alright, that's looking good. Let's get this last wire on there. Give it a little bend down. And that is what it's going to look like. So now we're going to do all the other 3 corners and we'll get right back to you. Alright, we're back, and that's what the 4 motors are going to look like, all soldered in. Yes, I am wearing a different shirt. It's a different day. This is taking a few days to build, and let's get back into it. So what we're going to do next is grab our flight controller right here. This is going to end up sitting right on top of this with this cable folded up inside. So the only thing we have to solder up is the wires to the DJI unit. So I have this cable right here. And what this is going to end up doing is plugging right into the top of this flight controller right here and get soldered right into the back of that. So it's actually pretty nice. We have our RX wire, our TX, our power, and our ground. Alright, so let me grab our Vista here. Let's move this aside. So actually, let's bring that back over here for a second just to get a good judgment of distance. This is going to end up sitting here like that. this board is going to end up sitting on top of this and solder into the back of that. So we want to leave a little slack. So I'd say probably right there would be good. Let's cut all those. These are nice silicone wires, so you can just probably grab them with your fingernail and pull them off just like that. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is put this right here, move this aside. We are going to tin our wires up. Let's grab the soldering iron. Alright, let's put our soldering iron down here. We'll tin these up really quick without burning our table. That wouldn't be a good day. Alright, now that we're tinned up, let's flip our Vista unit over. This is probably the only thing that's going to be a real pain to solder. See if I can prop it up on something. Not too bad. So we're going to take, well, first we're going to take our soldering iron and tin these pads up. Sorry, I can't get a better angle. Now we need what we need on here is we need the video, the ground, and then our RX and TX pads. And that's pretty much it. So we're going to go ahead right now and I'm going to tin these up. There we go. I'm going to get rid of that little peak right there. And it's going to look something like that. So now let's drop our wires in. Let's grab our actual power wire. Alright, now we'll grab our ground wire. Now we need RX has to go to TX and TX has to go to RX. So the first pad's going to be the white wire. And then our RX to our TX. And there we go. So we're done soldering it up. It should look like that. End up giving it a little twist. This is the way it's going to sit in the quad. This is where the antenna is. So we'll make a little twist and we'll end up pulling it over. Let's get our quad now. Yeah, that's nice. So now what we're going to do is cut a piece of this servo tape. I'm going to stick it right on the bottom right here. Grab my scissors. Now this is some heavy duty stuff. This is Gorilla Tape. I suggest finding a good spot for this before you stick it down, because once this is down you're going to have a real tough time pulling it back up. Now ours is going to be sitting somewhere right here, so I would like it up against these wires but not pinching anything. And I think, let me look over this real quick, and yeah, I like it right there. We're going to stick it right there. I like that. So let's grab our flight controller. Let's move this out of the way. Now on this flight controller, this G4, the motor pins to plug in are on the bottom. We already set that up earlier. I gave this a little twist right here. This is going to sit underneath this and fold inside all nice and neat. So let's go and plug that in right now. Make sure you pay attention to what way this goes in, because you can jam it in and bend the pins over. So now we're going to neatly tuck ours inside like this, off to the side so it's not crushing anything. This is going to sit to the side right here in this little groove that we have. Our Vista cable should be alright right there. Let me grab a little screwdriver and help it to the side, because I don't want it being pinched down right there. Perfect. Oh yeah. Look at that, that's awesome. So now we're going to plug in our DJI Vista cable. I like to give it a little twist, pull it up over the top. This is the RX side, so that's our yellow wire, so we're gonna spin this and plug it in right here. We're gonna take that slack and just fold it down. Fold it down the best we can. Look at that, yeah, I like that. So now we're gonna go ahead. Off camera, I took the stack apart and I ran my receiver wire where I'm going to put the receiver. I am using Spectrum. Depending on what you're using, your receiver is going to be mounted different. I am going to show you how I'm going to do it, but it doesn't matter for anybody else using TBS, the Crossfire, Fry Sky, any of that stuff. It'll still wire the same. Right on the front right here is where my receiver is going to wire. You have RX pad, ground, 5 volts, and your signal pad. And then telemetry if you have smart audio. So that's what I'm going to be using. I'm going to go ahead and put my camera in and tighten it down so it's not just bouncing around in the air right here. Let's go ahead and do that now. If you have any small washers, I suggest putting them on here so it doesn't pull through the TPU. I don't have any right now. I will put some on after. So what you kind of want to do is fold your cable in here nice without crushing anything. And make sure the arrow is pointing up, which mine is. Alright, let's get our screw on here. Alright, now that's what it's supposed to look like. Got our wire tucked in there all nice, out of the way. Yeah, I like that. Alright, so now what we're going to do is tin the pads up for the flight controller receiver. Let's get our soldering iron back out. Grab some of this. Now we're going to be doing the signal pad, the 5-volt, and the ground. Alright. That looks good. So now what I'm going to do is mock my receiver up right here. Oh, get that out of the way. I'm going to mount mine underneath right here because I don't think I have enough room on the top yet. I don't have enough room. But mine is going to end up sitting down something like this. So I need my plug about there. We'll give it a little slack just in case. I'm going to reroute this up behind this because I don't like it pinching behind that like that. Alright. So something like that. Probably needed about that long. Let's cut it. Pull the slack back up so we can strip these. You don't want these too big, so I'm going to trim them down to all about the same length. You just want enough the size of the pad. You don't want excess wire hanging off. Alright. Let's get in there. I don't know where my forceps are. I'd be using that instead of my fingers. And then our 5 volts. Now last, our ground wire. Alright, so that looks good. I'm going to pull that back through. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Sits in our little cavity under here. That's good. Alright, the only other thing I suggest doing is I'm going to take a piece of this electrical tape right here. I'm going to wrap a piece around my Vista just to kind of hold the thing in place and kind of to secure it a little better. Watch out for your USB plug right here on the side. Oh, actually, I almost made an error, guys. See, rushing ahead. Alright, what you're going to do is grab your back TPU piece for this Creamer build that comes with the kit. I pre-installed my Vista antenna through here. What you're going to do is grab your 1.5 and you're going to loosen this little screw right here. And you're going to slide this clip out. And this is where our antenna is going to snap into. What you're going to do is push it on there and wait for the snap. Just be careful you don't snap the pin off. There you go. Snapped it on there. put this little trap door back over. Alright, so I managed to push it in there. It, for some reason, is awfully tight, but we got it in there by taking the screw out and letting it snap over. Tighten that back down. I mean, they really don't want that thing coming off of there, which is good, but geez, oh man. Alright, so what you're going to do is take this and you're going to twist your antenna down inside of there to make it fit. Actually, I'm probably going to twist this the other way so I can leave myself some room. I know it seems kind of scary twisting your antenna up, but there's really no other way to fit it in there. It's going to slide on top of these right here. Boom. Now we'll take a piece of tape and we'll put it over the top of this. And there we go. We have almost a completely done drone. All that's left to do is put on the top plate and get our pieces through. Other than that, I'm pretty happy with that. So what you're going to do is grab your top plate right here. Our XT60 is going to slide through that. Going to grab your 2.0 driver. Grab your 8mm long screws, and those are going to feed right into the top of this. Oh, actually, good thing I thought of that before. What I did also purchase from Rotor Village, the place where I bought this frame, is my GoPro Hero 8 mount. So we are going to grab that baby and slap that on here. Look at this. That's beautiful printed TPU from them guys in Canada. I appreciate it. It's specifically made for this drone. And what's great about their drones is once you order one camera mount, all their camera mounts fit every single one of their frames. Because they designed it with this top piece right here, this press nut that's set in, and this right here, all the design is the same. So as you'll see in a second, as I go to put this on, you'll never have a problem if you don't feel like ordering another one, and if you break the frame and get another one, you can be dependent that you're gonna get the same I have to put these in first, bend this back, the same GoPro mount. Let me push these through really quick and we'll be right back. And one last one in the back right here. All right. Before we finish this, we're gonna slap some God sticky icky pieces of this grip tape on here. I'd say just a piece down the center right here should be good. Probably only need a couple pieces. This stuff is super sticky. You can even rewash it once it gets dirty, which is pretty crazy. I'm gonna cut 2 pieces of this. Cut it right in half. And stick it on a couple spots. I'd say probably right there. And another one back here. Yeah, I like that. Let's peel that off. Oh, that feels nice. Look at that. It almost look, it picks up. Look at this. It's just stuck by my fingers. That is awesome. Thank you, Tommy, for making that stuff. Let's get that in there. All right, let's put our battery straps in and we'll call it a day. Put it over the back here. Get one of those on. Get our other one in there. Oh yeah. Look at that. All right. And there we have it, our completed piece. That thing is beautiful. Thank you guys very much for following along. Stay tuned for part 3 where we actually set this up and fly it. I appreciate it. Like, share, and subscribe. Share it with your friends. Share it with anybody you know, your grandmother. It doesn't matter. Just get them in there. Like some videos and comment down below. I really appreciate it. Like I said before. Guys, have a happy New Year's, and we'll see you in 2022. Boom.